This is where we left off on the last video. We have a negative light system happening. The sun's behind the viewer. The sun's over to the left of the viewer, over the viewer's left shoulder. And we have the shadow of this incline box. And I thought we'd make it a little more interesting by putting another incline in the situation. And like this. So now we have the shadow of this incline. And here's a different incline. And the shadow of this incline is going to be cast on the shadow of a different incline. So this is a 1-point perspective incline. I have these going to the center vision. This is the center vision there. So let's take take every shadows just one line at a time. And here is, let's find this line. So we already have it here. It goes along the ground. Goes along the ground, then it's going to hit the surface. And it's going to go up the surface. But this is an incline, and this is an incline. It's a different incline than this one. They look pretty close though. So what we're going to do is we are going to find this point on this surface. And just like we found this point on the ground, we did that by using this flagpole. So this is just a vertical line. So we found the shadow of this vertical line on the ground and then connected these dots. So to find the shadow of this inclined line on this inclined surface, then we need to find the two endpoints. We have one of the endpoints right there where it hits the surface. We just need to find this dot on the surface. So what I would do is add a wall here. Sometimes you have to build walls that don't exist. There's a horizontal line. And here's a vertical line. I could do this because this is in 1-point perspective, this incline. So I'm just building a wall here, a vertical wall. So the shadow of this flagpole goes along the floor. And if it kept going, it would hit this vertical wall right there. And then when it hit this wall, because this is a vertical line, and this wall back here is a vertical surface, then the shadow of that flagpole would just go straight up the wall. And then we get an endpoint there. And we have an endpoint right there. And then we connect these two. And so the shadow of this flagpole, if this flagpole is long enough, it would go along the floor and hit this incline and then head this direction until the light angle hits it. And here is the light angle. It hits right there. So this red dot would be the shadow of that corner on this inclined surface. So we just connect those. Here's an endpoint. Here's an endpoint. And this is the shadow of this dot on this incline. So now we just move to the next one, which is here. So here it is on the ground. Well, this one we found a little different because, see, on the ground, this is just a horizontal line and it's parallel with the ground. So the shadow of this line goes to the same vanishing point as the line does. But now when it hits this incline, now these two are not parallel with each other. So I need to find this dot like the same way I found this one. I need to draw a flagpole down here. I don't have one of those because I didn't need it. So, but now I need a flagpole. So drop this down and it is going to hit on this line that goes along the floor. And there's there's the flagpole. And from the base of the flagpole, I draw a ground line. It goes along the floor, and it does the same thing as this flagpole does. It comes along here and hits this wall. And then it goes straight up the wall until I get this endpoint. So it hits here. It's like almost right where the flagpole is. Almost kind of a little bit of a tangent right there. I'm gonna cheat it a little bit and bring it away from the base of this flagpole, because it's going to where this line is, right? Just like this one came up the side, hits this point where the edge of this incline is. So this is doing the same thing, going along the floor, going up here, hitting the top of this incline, and it connects back to this point. And then it does that, and it's cut off by the light angle, which is right there. So this would be the shadow of this corner on this incline. And then we connect those dots. Okay, so this is the shadow of this line. Here it's on the ground. We're just projecting it up to this incline, so it's there. So now we have this point moves to here, and this point moves to here. And then we have this point back here, which is the shadow of this one. So we're doing that same process a third time. Here is the flagpole. This was already in the drawing. It comes down and it lands right on this line. And then from there, we do a ground line. And it goes along the floor. And it hits the back of this wall. Goes up the wall. And then connects. So these are just like little cross sections. And this would be the shadow of this flagpole if the flagpole is long. And we wanted to find that point, the top of the flagpole. So there we take a light angle. And it's right there. That dot is the shadow of this dot. Then we connect these two. Okay, now we found this dot, we found this dot, we found this dot. These are we have 3 corners here on the ground, and we have found those 3 corners here. This line hits this incline right there, just all very close to this line. So these connect. And then this one goes along the floor. Just get a little piece of this horizontal line. So there's the shadow. These are like 3 points too, and like how many lines it took, and it gets pretty busy. But you can make up your own little like shapes, and then plot shadows from them, and they're all like little different situations. You get tangents happen more times than you think they would. So there is the shadow of this box. Fun.